Hello everyone, magandang gabi. In this video, we'll show kung ano po yung nangyari sa first game on the Philippine National Games uh, Men's Division. So, board 24 po tayo and we're white pieces and kalaban po natin is from Cotabato. And since white tayo, we play e4 and black plays d5. Keep in mind na ang time control po natin is 1 hour and 30 seconds increment. That means 1 hour each ang player and every move there's an increment added sa each move made, which is 30 seconds. So mahaba po yung game and it is the standard type ng tournament. So we play 2 games each day and this is day 1 and this is game 1. Black plays d5, which is the Scandinavian defense. I play e takes d5 lagi dito, and here ang modern approach ko dito is knight f6 para hindi lumabas yung queen agad, and mababawi naman ito agad itong pawn sa d5. So but in this position, black plays d5 and normally and practically ang gagawin na lang natin dito is magde-develop tayo while kicking out the queen. So knight c3 and then black plays queen d6. So dito po de-develop lang tayo ng knight f3 ang sunod kong move, and ang ginawa niya dito is a6. So para sa akin is bago to, and nasa isip ko na he's preventing white to go bishop b5 for yung mga ideas na yun, prevent niya, or even going b5 in the future. And so sa akin, nasa isip ko na my 2 choices are d4 and h3, since I don't want the light square bishop na mag-develop dito and it would be annoying for me. But on retrospect, it could have been that I should have played d4 and bishop d g4, and I should have played bishop e2. This is another line which can be which is very playable, and white has the advantage here. So but in this position I played h3, preventing this. Now black would have played e5 but he didn't. So but in this position, black plays knight f6, I play d4, and he plays e6. Now, iniisip ko naman kung saan ko develop ang aking bishop. Una, iniisip ko develop dito ng bishop, but I'm not pinning anything. So, hindi ko ginawa yun agad. Instead, I want to decide kung saan ko ilalagay itong light square bishop, which would be here, pero it's not doing any job kung sa e2 lang siya. And since I already prevented bishop g4, there's no reason for him to stay on that square. So I am contemplating kung magbi-bishop d3 ako or bishop c4. In this case, may bishop d3 ako, since bishop c4, which will be rendered useless dahil sa move na e6, which will blunt kung yung tinututuan ng bishop sa c4. So I play bishop d3 and he plays bishop e7, preparing to castle. So in my mind, if he castles, I will just push my pawns dito sa king side and launch a king side attack. So I play bishop g5 first dahil ayokong ipakita na or I want to keep my options open at hindi ako mag-castle king side agad, since I can lift my queen to d2 and castle queen side or long side castling. So dito nag-knight me d7 lang siya, reserving his right to castle, and merong mga option na mag bishop b7 siya after b5 and b4. So in this position, yung very practical na queen d2 lang, and in this position he plays c5. So one reason kung ba't nag queen d2 ako is so that this bishop can go back dun sa f4, and I play bishop f4, threatening to take the queen. So the queen should move and take it out of this f4 to b8 diagonal. Kaya pumunta siya dito, pwede siya pumunta sa c6. c6, if the queen goes to c6, ang kinalculate ko dito is I'm thinking na mag knight e5 and get some exchanges on the board, and after some liquidation of material, I think yung development ko ng pieces is decent and can be I can still have the advantage. So in this position, he does not play queen c6, but instead he plays queen b6. And here I have been thinking about knight a4, but after makita ko yung move na queen c6, bigla ko siyang nireject dahil I didn't think of a follow-up, and since binilang ko lang yung defenders ng square ng c5, I didn't think of playing knight takes c5, which could have been the best move, or ganito, since it's just a trade, and white still maintains his advantage. But instead, I made a mistake or a blunder and played alongside castling. So, sabi dito ng engine ay inaccuracy lang siya, pero kung papalalimin natin yung engine, ay mas makikita natin that in the long term, this queen is perfectly placed and justified yung pagkaka-place niya dyan, instead of sinisipa-sipa na ng queen, is naging effective yung kanyang placement, and hindi ko na siya hindi ko na siya agad sisipa dyan. So in this position, I gave up this pawn, and that leads to me having to think of a way para mabawi yung pawn. And initially, inisip ko rin na mag knight a4 dito sa position na to, pero after this, wala na akong magandang follow-up, dahil after knight a4, queen c6 at b3, ay meron siyang nasa isip ko, ay meron siyang bishop a3 check, and my dark squares are very weak. So because of that, knight e4 ako, and after knight e4, there's knight d5, and I should have not ignored yung threat niya sa bishop f4, and I should have played bishop h2, pero hindi ginawa na kinain niya yung knight ko sa f4. Instead, I actually wanted him to take, para if I go bishop c4 takes, I was thinking I have enough attack or counterplay dito sa side na pieces, since I am threatening all kinds of things dito sa king side. But instead, in-overlook ko yung defenses ko is mas konti kaysa dun sa attack, yung yeah, yung defenders ko is mas konti kaysa dun sa attackers niya. And for that reason, I nabasag yung queen side ko. And after bishop b4, I have to play c3, and after c takes and knight takes c3, may mga options dito na mag delay ng capture dito sa c3, which could be ayan, mag knight f to knight e, knight 3 to f6. I mean knight 7 to f6 pala. And but instead, much simpler and much accurate ang knight takes c3. And then after ko mag b takes c3, I have to play king c2 dahil forced and only square. So nasa isip ko dito ay pwede siyang mag queen b2, and after ko mag king d3, I am at a much worse endgame, but it's still just a pawn, and I think humanly speaking, it can be drawable if I liquidate the pawns on the board and play for maybe tricks. Pero sabi dito ng engine is minus 3.6, but it's still a long hard calculation para i-prove yung advantage. So instead, na mag queen b2 siya, he plays e5, which at first ay kung titingnan mo is nagbibigay ng pawn sa e5, but that's not the point. Yung point nito is it opens up the queen sa g6. It also threatens this square sa f4, which is occupied by our bishop. And if we play anything, ay magkakaroon ng development ang bishop dito sa f5 after mag-move ng knight. So at first I calculate ko ang rook h to e1 to pin this, and but meron siyang castles, or even f6 is playable, and in the long term I still have to think about queen b2, and having my queen placed on d3 while my queen is on d2 is very worrying and annoying, because anytime after castling is there could be a rook dito sa d8. So after thinking, I played rook b1, and ang nasa isip ko, if he plays queen g6, I will just play bishop d3. Now he can take, and now he can take my bishop dahil I will take his queen. So if he plays e4, then I should play rook h e1, pinning this pawn para sa king. And yeah, this is what I'm thinking of. Pero in retrospect ay meron siyang f4 or knight c5. Yes, knight c5 pala. But in this position ay hindi siya nag queen g6 check, which is ang ginawa niya is much more solid. Ito ay queen c5, threatening to take the bishop sa c4, and also the bishop on f4. So in this position ay medyo kinabahan ako since I did not expect yung queen c5. Pero luckily meron akong only move halos queen e2 to protect both of the pieces, protecting the bishop on c4 while pinning the king para hindi matake yung bishop dito sa f4. So after that, yeah, black castles, and here I took back dahil I know he can't play this since I have a bishop staring on f7, and if he plays this, I thought na this is not much to worry about since I can just play queen e4, and after, let's say for example, okay, rook takes c5 is works pala. So, mali din. Anyway, ang nangyari dito is nag-bishop f4 siya, and I played here, and after it takes, I play bishop d4, queen a5, and rook takes b1. And after b5, I thought na I'm just an exchange down and I can still play this, but after seeing that there's imminent mate dito sa a4, then medyo I just medyo sad. So I just played to continue the game at para ma-simplify, para pakita lang kung ano yung kakalabasan, is I just played king c2 since I have no hope of saving the light square bishop on c4, and after pawn takes, queen takes c4, and then there's the elegant queen f5, and they go queen d3, capture, and the last move is rook h2 b8, and in this position white resigned, and that's it. I started the tournament with loss, pero this loss I think is not much to be frustrated about, since I honestly believe that I made a good, played a good game, and even the engine thinks that black played very accurately. So dito po ay even dito. Yeah, dito. So in retrospect, I should have reacted, or in this position I should have played t4 para ma-prevent ko yung e5. This is just parang summary ng notes that we should learn from. We should always try to grab the center in this position. After a6, we should prevent e5, so we play d4 every time. And the weight of bishop g4 is not much to think about after we play bishop e2. So this I should have played here, here, and here. Okay. So if he takes, I have a pleasant position. So, and I mean, yeah, it's a very pleasant position for white. The light square stares at a very vast diagonal, and then going back, here I should have just traded dito exact 3 sa c5, since long side casting is committing my king on the other side of the board na kung saan meron siyang pieces na pwedeng ma-access agad yung side ng port na yun. And his king is much safer than this king. What I should have done is I should have played knight a4, and after, let's say for example, knight queen b6, capture, capture, and castle king side is much safer and mas madaling laruin on in comparison to what I have played. So, and lastly is, I should have not ignored kung ano yung threat niya dun sa f4, and even if hindi niya i-take yung so it says here na bishop b4, yun yung crashing move, since I cannot escape this diagonal since it's protecting my bishop. So yeah, that goes to say that I should have dropped back my, I mean, not in that position, pero dito, I should have dropped back my bishop on h2 and played like this. So yeah. And I should have decent chances. So that's basically it. The proceeding moves are very much the consequences ng minor mistakes, or even, let's say, in this level ay major mistakes na pwede natin magawa positionally. So thank you for watching. Before pala, gusto ko din yung i-update dun sa round 2. Round 2 was scored a win for us dahil hindi sumipot yung player na dapat nating ka-pair. So we're now out of 7 rounds, we are 1-1, 1 loss and 1 win. And tomorrow 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. at the afternoon, dalawang games, round 3 and round 4 will proceed the standard tournament of the Philippine National Games. Thank you for watching. That's all.